What if I told you the deadliest battlefields of World War II were saved by a man forbidden to kill? His weapon wasn't a rifle, but faith. His battlefield oath. While others take lives, I'll save them. This is Desmond Doss, the medic who defied armies, saved 75 men in one night, and became the only conscientious objector to receive the Medal of Honor. Born in 1919 to Seventh-day Adventists, young Desmond lived by two unbreakable vows: vegetarianism and non-violence. The commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," was his compass. Yet when Pearl Harbor erupted, this shipyard joiner faced an impossible choice: serve his country or betray his God. April 1, 1942, Doss enlists, expecting medical duty. Instead, the Army brands him a conscientious objector and assigns him as a rifleman. When ordered to carry a gun, he refuses. Officers threaten court-martial. Comrades sneer, "You're dead, Doss." Medics could carry weapons, but firing one stripped their protected status. Chaplain Stanley intervened, transferring Doss to medic training. Yet resentment festered. His Saturday Sabbath observance and meatless rations made him an outcast. A grueling march became his trial. As men fell, blistered and dehydrated, Doss treated every foot. His medical kits weighed more than rifles. That night, the skeptic who vowed to kill him whispered, "You saved my life." July 1944, Doss' first combat. A soldier grabbed a fountain pen, a Japanese trap. White phosphorus shredded his chest. Doss stanched arterial bleeding while shrapnel rained. 1 in 6 Americans fell on Guam. Late October 1944, medic Glenn raced to save a machine gunner. A sniper dropped him. Doss crawled through crossfire, finding Glenn dying. As they evacuated him, bullets killed litter bearer Herb Schechter. Doss stopped looking at faces. Hunger haunted Doss. He survived on K-ration crackers and coconuts, triggering dysentery. Climbing trees for untainted fruit drew Japanese fire. Drunk on sake, the gunners missed. But betrayal cut deeper. The soldier who threatened him now begged for prayers. April 1, 1945, Doss landed on Okinawa, World War II's bloodiest Pacific battle. The 77th Division's objective, scale the Maida Escarpment, dubbed Hacksaw Ridge. Artillery rained as they climbed cargo nets. Doss prayed aloud for his brothers. May 4th, Doss sprinted through mortar blasts to 4 wounded men. A lieutenant's grenade detonated in his hand, shredding the squad. Doss dragged each man 25 yards to safety, 4 trips through a kill zone. May 5th, an artillery officer lay in a shell crater, shrapnel piercing his lungs. Doss climbed the cliff on a shattered leg. For 30 minutes, he held plasma aloft, exposed. The colonel died en route, but Doss had honored the oath. May 5th to the 6th, Japanese forces counterattacked. Americans retreated, but 75 wounded remained atop Hacksaw Ridge. Alone, Doss hauled them to the cliff's edge. Using ropes and knots, he lowered each man 40 feet. "Lord, help me get one more," he chanted. May 21st, night fighting erupted. As Doss treated wounded, a grenade landed in his foxhole. He stomped it, absorbing the blast. 17 shrapnel chunks tore through his legs. For 5 hours, he dressed his wounds while aiding others. Stretchered to safety, Doss spotted a critically wounded soldier. "Take him," he ordered. While waiting, a sniper's bullet shattered his arm. Using his rifle as a splint, he crawled 300 yards to aid. His war was over. October 12, 1945, President Truman hung the medal around Doss' neck. He'd saved over 150 lives without firing a shot. The boy who refused to kill died at 87, surrounded by grandchildren on his Tennessee farm. Despite winning respect, Doss' Saturdays off still drew ire. Men grumbled he got more passes than the general. Unseen, his Sundays spent scrubbing latrines and covering duties. Only Chaplain Stanley knew the truth. This was the price of honoring Exodus 28. Guam taught Doss war's cruelty. Booby-trapped corpses, poisoned wells, and that pen grenade. Japanese tactics ignored Geneva Conventions. Medics removed Red Cross armbands. The insignia made them targets. Of 59,000 U.S. troops, 9,800 fell. Doss treated hundreds. K-rations tormented Doss. While comrades ate stew, he subsisted on dry crackers. Dysentery from rotten coconuts weakened him. Yet in Lady Swamps, he shared his last crackers with a wounded man. A hungry healer, they called him. After Glenn and Schechter died, Doss developed a ritual, treating wounds without seeing faces. "If I don't look, they're not friends. Just souls to save," he confessed. The 77th Division suffered 2,000 casualties on Leyte alone. In Okinawa's hell, the man who vowed to kill Doss crawled to him. "Doc, pray with me." As mortars shook the earth, Doss held his enemy-turned-brother. The soldier survived, his guilt did not. April the 29th, 1945. The 77th scaled Hacksaw Ridge. Japanese machine guns pinned them halfway. Doss climbed last, praying aloud, "Lord, let me serve these boys." Bullets sparked against rock beside him. That Japanese cave stronghold, its murder holes slaughtered dozens. When gasoline cans ignited it, the explosion revealed tunnels stocked with suicide vests. Doss pulled men from secondary blasts, his tunic smoldering. Before each rescue, Doss knelt, not for protection, but clarity. His prayer wasn't recorded until later. "Lord, if you won't stop this madness, help me get one more." The Nazi tide held to 100-pound men. How did Doss save 75 in one night? Physics and faith. He used a stretcher knot for critical cases, body harnesses for others. Each descent took 6 minutes. Calculations: 7.5 hours non-stop. Treating Colonel Cooley, Doss knew holding plasma aloft silhouetted him. Why risk it? Plasma expires after 30 minutes exposed, he'd explain later. The sniper's bullet that shattered his arm fired hours after this act. That grenade wasn't thrown, it rolled into his foxhole. Stomping it saved his companion, but blew Doss 3 feet into the air. Medics later counted for major leg arteries severed. When Doss surrendered his stretcher to a more deserving man, he didn't know the soldier would live to 94. As he crawled away, the sniper's bullet shattered his humerus. Bone fragments pierced muscle. His impromptu splint used trigonometry. Tie above fracture, anchor below. Doss directed the panicked private. The rifle's weight kept bones aligned during their for a crawl through corpse-strewn ravines. October the 12th, 1945. Truman gripped Doss' hand, whispering, "I'd rather wear this than be president." The citation noted, over 150 saved at Okinawa. True count remains unknown. Doss refused to estimate. Post-war, Doss lost a lung and ribs to TB. Still, he built a Georgia homestead, adopting a son. At 87, buried beside Dorothy, his headstone reads, "Conscientious Objector, yet saves so many."